BTS News Today. On what seemed like just another ordinary night in downtown Los Angeles, a single leaked video sent shockwaves across the globe within minutes. Not because of a sighting of a mysterious figure, nor due to an accident or natural disaster, but because of two legendary names in the world of entertainment, Park Jimin and Jungkook of BTS. And in that brief footage, the world seemed to witness something long hidden under the shadows of their management company, HYBE. The video first appeared on a private forum just moments before it spread like wildfire across social media. It didn't take long before Jimin and Jungkook became global trending topics. Armies around the world were torn between awe, concern, and overwhelming curiosity. The video showed Jimin and Jungkook walking alone without security, along a quiet sidewalk in Santa Monica, laughing, chatting, and occasionally stopping to sing spontaneously with an old acoustic guitar. Where it came from, no one knew. But it wasn't just their carefree act that stirred public uproar. It was their words, clearly captured by what appeared to be a tiny microphone hidden in Jungkook's jacket. "I'm tired of being controlled all the time. This is our life too, not just HYBE's content," Jungkook said, his voice calm but heavy. Beside him, Jimin stared at the ocean and laughed softly before adding, "If they get mad, let them. We're not 20 anymore, Kook. We know what we're doing." It felt like the world was watching a scene from a documentary no one expected existed. The public witnessed two of the biggest idols speak openly, not in an official broadcast or structured interview, but in a quiet, free night. They didn't look like celebrities or global icons. They simply looked like two best friends finally walking on their own terms. HYBE, unsurprisingly, didn't stay silent. Within less than an hour of the video going viral, they released an official statement through their media channels, saying the footage does not reflect activities planned by the agency and occurred outside of managerial coordination. That sentence, instead of quelling the flames, only fueled the fire, especially among fans who had long craved the human side of BTS members. Many argued that Jimin and Jungkook were simply living their lives like ordinary people, and if HYBE was trying to suppress that, then who was really in the wrong? Media outlets across Korea and internationally scrambled for more information. But so far, neither Jimin nor Jungkook has made any public statement. The next day, they were spotted again in LA, sitting quietly at a small cafe in Venice Beach, both wearing hoodies and caps to mask their identities. But none of the fans nearby pretended not to recognize them. They took photos from afar, choosing instead to respect the private moment of the two men they had admired since their teens. Witnesses said Jimin looked calm that day. "He smiled at a kid who gave him a free cookie from the cafe," said an employee. And Jungkook strummed a few lines from one of their old songs on the guitar. Nothing dramatic, but the whole atmosphere felt real. Amid all the public reactions, one big question hung in the air. Was this the beginning of an open rebellion against the agency system that controls every moment of an idol's life? Or was it just a fleeting moment where two people needed to take a break without intending to challenge anyone? A former HYBE staff member, speaking anonymously, revealed that since BTS shifted focus to individual activities, the relationship between the agency and members had not always been harmonious. Jimin and Jungkook have a unique bond. They often support and encourage each other, but they're also the most vocal when the system feels inhumane. They want to be artists, not machines. In a past interview, Jungkook once said music, for him, was about freedom, not just fame. And Jimin, known for his empathy, had expressed many times that he didn't want to live a life dictated by others. Now, those words felt like a prophecy slowly turning into reality. Industry analysts began speculating. Was this a sign that Jimin and Jungkook were planning something outside of HYBE's oversight? Were they working on a secret project without agency approval? Or were they simply demanding personal space in a world that constantly demanded too much? The fandom was divided. Most armies voiced full support, calling the moment the first step toward artistic freedom. But some expressed concern, especially given the long history of pressure and exclusive contracts binding K-pop idols to their agencies. Some fans wrote open letters urging HYBE to be more flexible and respect the wishes of members who had dedicated over a decade to their careers. The situation also brought back memories of rare moments in K-pop history when idols finally spoke out, demanding control over their own careers and lives. But unlike before, today's world is more open. An army is no longer just a fan base, but a collective voice powerful enough to influence the decisions of massive corporations. On the third night after the video went viral, paparazzi cameras captured Jimin and Jungkook on the rooftop of a recording studio in LA, sitting side by side, looking at the sky. No bodyguards, no crew, just the two of them and the sound of the wind. In a faint recording from afar, a whisper could be heard from Jungkook. "If we start over from the beginning, are you really ready?" And Jimin answered softly, "This time, we don't need anyone's permission." That line echoed like a declaration of revolution. Whatever they were planning, one thing was clear. The world was witnessing a new chapter in the lives of Jimin and Jungkook. A chapter no longer written by agency scripts, but by their own hearts and wills. And the video, now with over 28 million views, would remain a reminder that even in a rigid industry, there is room for courage and truth. That HYBE could issue dozens of statements or try to drown the event in promotional content. But what the world saw that night could not be undone. Jimin and Jungkook had crossed an invisible line, and it seemed they had no intention of ever going back. Whatever happens next, one thing is certain: the world is watching. And for the first time in a long while, HYBE is no longer in control of the story, but two best friends walking under the night sky, singing their own song, with determined steps and eyes fixed on a future they chose themselves. This story is far from over. But one thing is already crystal clear. Jimin and Jungkook have just written the most honest chapter of their lives. The night continued in Los Angeles, but the atmosphere surrounding the two global superstars seemed frozen between tension and serenity. More international media began flooding the area where Jimin and Jungkook were last seen. Interestingly, there were no tight security measures or visible HYBE staff. According to a local resident, 2 days after the video went viral, Jimin and Jungkook were seen riding electric scooters together through side streets in LA, without heavy disguises, seemingly unbothered by whether they'd be recognized. Meanwhile, back in Seoul, the headquarters of HYBE was reportedly in a state of chaos. Several sources noted that the large meeting room on the top floor hadn't been empty for 2 straight days. Long discussions about legal steps, clarifications, and even strategies to salvage the company's public image were underway. But more intriguingly, some internal staff were quietly expressing support for what Jimin and Jungkook had done. "What they did has been talked about behind the scenes for years," said a former junior manager from BTS's concert production team. "It's not about rebellion. It's about the desire to live normally, to decide for themselves when to work and when to pause." Even more shocking news came from New York. Rumors suggested that a major international agency, unaffiliated with Korea and representing several renowned independent artists, had quietly reached out to Jimin and Jungkook's legal representatives. Allegedly, they were interested in supporting them if they chose to pursue music independently outside of HYBE's influence. Though no official statement has been made, the speculation continues to add tension to an already explosive story.